excited to share with you the latest digital planner for iPad and Androids. Now, you have the option between two main versions, the classic digital planner and the version with the calendar shortcuts. So if you prefer to use this planner on an Android tablet or just on an iPad and don't want those calendar scheduling links, then the classic version is going to be perfect for you. But if you want the version that allows you to quick create calendar events or reminders and send emails, and you're working on an iPad, then you'll want that calendar scheduling version. So I'll show you a demo of that towards the end of this video. Now, no matter which version of the planner you choose, you're going to be able to choose from a variety of layouts. You have 10 different weekly layouts to choose from, 2 varieties for the portrait page, and 8 for landscape mode. So regardless of how you like to plan your weeks or schedule them, you're going to be able to find a layout that works perfectly for you. And of course, each of those 10 layouts is included with both Monday Start and Sunday Start options. Now that we've covered all the versions, let's jump into the planner itself. So when we go into my planner, I start by really helping you figure out where to start. If you're brand new, this section is going to give you all the information you need to learn how to navigate the pages and make the most of everything included in the planner. And this section really pairs well with my guided video series. So like I said, even if you're brand new to digital planning this year, you're going to have all the help you need to get started. Now, the real differentiator and the foundation of the planner is my goal clarity roadmap process. Now, this system walks you from complete lack of focus to full clarity so that you can set really mindful goals. One of the main differentiators between setting goals and achieving them is, number one, making sure that they're mindful. And that means that they're aligned to what you're able to actually take on in life. And number 2 is translating these goals to action. So this planner really helps to cover both of those gaps that we so often run into. And like I said, it is a very guided process. I'm going to take you through a series of templates, and I recommend that you start here in the planner so that you can start your year off right. You can see each of these templates are fairly simple and straightforward, but they'll make all of the difference in setting goals that are really well aligned with where you are in life and where you want to go. And of course, with each of these templates, there's a whole page giving you ideas, explaining what you're doing, so that when they lead you to setting your goals. So the goal section here, I've actually expanded it this year. Each goal links to a goal detail page, which allows you to make sure you're setting what we call SMART goals, goals that are actionable and achievable. And I've also given you expanded space for action planning. So you're going to be able to capture your milestones and any habit goals. And then I also help you map your weekly and daily planning, which I'll show you more of a demo of in a minute. So each goal links to these 2 most important pages, your goal details and your action plan. And then there's also these 3 supplemental pages that help with planning as well. Now that's a note page. You can duplicate this as many times as you want, and you can see how it really becomes a workspace for your goals. And then you also have this extra Gantt chart. This is more of an interactive view that allows you to actually move these stickers. Now, these stickers are included in your sticker set, and so it really creates this interactive process if that helps you feel motivated and think through your goals. So they're really designed for you to use these pages as you need them, depending on the goal you're going after. I always encourage you not to get overwhelmed with the number of pages. That's something you'll hear me repeat often through these demos. There's a lot here, but the key to digital planning is that since it is all digital, you're not carrying around a huge binder. Just pay attention to the pages that are helpful and forget the rest. I do find with some goals, I really need that extra Gantt or progress planning, and with some they're a little more straightforward and I can get away with just my action plan. So we'll come back in a minute. I'll talk about how we thread your goal achievement through. But first, let's jump into your calendar pages. So Starting at the top, we first have our yearly pages. Now, I've included pages not just for this year, but for the next 2 years. So this allows you to look forward and also capture really high-level details for the upcoming years. So you can see here for both 2026, 2027, and even 2028, you have these pages built out, and it's really easy to tap through the years and toggle between pages. So you have your at-a-glance calendar. This actually links you to your monthly pages, your weekly pages, and your daily pages. So it's really easy to navigate from here down to any page in your planner for the year. But in addition to that calendar, you can capture key dates, capture things that fall more quarterly and are maybe less date or time focus. You also have a wish list, a tracker for the year, and space to capture your health details, budgeting and finance, and then a blank page, which you can really use for anything, or place a template page on top of it. So like I said, you have that built out for the year as well as the next 2 years. Jumping down into our monthly page, again, this is where you can see these icons are specific to calendar scheduling, which I'll show you in a minute. But your calendar page for your month is pretty simple. And here's an example of a blank page. And then here's an example for one that I've built out. You can see where you're going to start your monthly, weekly, and daily pages. There are some margins. And so I actually have widget stickers that are created to fit perfectly on these spaces. So if you want something really minimal, you have this here. And if you want to get decorative, I kind of give you a jump start with these widget stickers. I'll give you a tour of those in a second, but you can see how this page can really come to life with stickers and text, and you can get as creative or as minimal as you want. So from your monthly page, we can go down to your weekly page. Here's an example of a weekly page all built out, and this is where you can see we're really making the most of it through these widget stickers. They fit perfectly right here in the bottom margin and aligns with each day of your week. Then we also have our daily page, and you can see again a very simple and minimal page to start. But you can actually build it out and add a little interest with some stickers. Here's an example that I built out for January. You can see that I'm adding in this widget on the right margin and also some transparent scheduling block stickers. And really quickly, you can build out this layout that works perfectly for your needs, and you can recycle it day to day. So let's jump over, take a closer look at those widget stickers. Now, if you're adding this in the GoodNotes app, I have this sticker book that creates the experience of using a physical sticker book and makes it really easy to navigate your sticker collection. If you use this planner in another app, you'll be covered as well because I included all the stickers organized, saved with transparent backgrounds in folders. You can easily drag and drop those into any app. But here's the experience in GoodNotes. I'm in my planner here, I'm giving you all the codes. And so in my sticker book that I've loaded them in, if you tap in, you can see I have all of my monthly widgets. These are again designed to fit over that sidebar, whether you want a checklist, habit tracker, or more plain labels that can fit perfectly in that margin. You have all of that right here. Now we're jumping over here into our daily stickers. You can see that I have all of these options, whether you want to be more mindful, focused on gratitude and intentions. You have your wellness focus, and then even just some plain lines or giving you alternate scheduling block options to cover up that center column. So there's tons of possibilities here to mix and match and mix it up throughout the year. And this allows you to pivot your style or adapt to your needs as they might change throughout your year. Now, these are designed to really overlay on that week, and you can see how we can easily add in scheduling blocks and be really flexible with our weekly layouts as well. Then we also have some that are more aligned with your footers, like you saw in my example page. And so to give you an idea of what's happening here, this is just its own sticker, and I can copy it, I can paste it. It's going to fit perfectly on that page without me even having to resize it. And then there are these that are more designed to fit in your footer again, adding your priorities and your habits. So I'm also constantly adding new widgets. I love getting ideas from everyone in the community. It's a really expansive collection that allows you to make your pages your own. Now, jumping over into our planner, let's talk about the bonus pages. This is where we really get into our help with achieving our goals as well. So on each month, you have a series of bonus pages. Your reflection and your planning is where you're really going to see that goal focus. We're thinking about our whole self, how we're currently feeling, but we're also going to take a look and review our goals, how we're making progress, where we need to focus. That's going to lead you into planning, and that's where you're going to choose the goals that we're going to be hyper-focused on this month, and write them down and set that intention. Now, in addition to that, you also have a monthly tracker. Now, I love using this to track specific habits. And then down here, we have this tracker that goes more on a spectrum. So I'll often use this to track my energy levels from high to low. And you can see how each day you can check off where you are in your energy on this spectrum. So there's really a lot you can do with this page. It's really flexible. You also have your finance, which of course leads back up to your annual goals for finance. And then this blank page, which again can be used as is, or you can place a template over it and repurpose it. Now, jumping down to our week, you also have a series of bonus pages here. Now, your plan view is perfect for assignment tracking, lesson planning, meal planning, workout planning. I really like to use this as an alternate weekly view for more detailed planning. It works well with my weekly calendar view. Now, your weekly focus is where we really put a focus on your goals. We're taking in those high-level goals that we decided to focus on this month and just picking a couple milestones under that goal. Now, a milestone is something we can achieve in just a few days, and here we are breaking it down into individual actions. So again, I mentioned how we can often get stuck on our goals because we can't break those lofty goals into individual actions, and consistently completing those actions is the key. And so this is leading you right through that. During your weekly planning time, you're going to be taking that goal and splitting it down. And I'm breaking it down into my individual actions here so I can prioritize those for each day of my week. And again, that's how we really make sure that we make progress every single day on our most important goals and stay focused on them. So you can see how we're really threading this through and keeping ourselves focused. Now, you also have the optional wellness page if you want to get really hyper-focused on different details of your health. We have this 6-part list as well, which I really like using to split out separate areas of my life, whether it's my kids, my home, my work, and having a separate running list for each. Then we also have our blank page on the week as well. Now, I've been mentioning ways to maximize those bonus pages, and I've mentioned our templates. Let me give you a quick tour of that section of the planner. So you have these template pages and custom sections. Now, this is really expansive. You have, I think at last count, well over 80 template pages. And you can see here we go across the gamut from financial, home, entertainment, notes, and productivity. Now, a few years ago, I actually added in this nice browsing feature that gives you a thumbnail view, so it's really easy to navigate through and browse all the template pages. So let's say I want to start a sleep log. Tap in here, and this takes me to that sleep log page. Now, I'm able to either duplicate this page, or I can take a screenshot of this page and paste it over any of the blank pages in my planner. Now, if you're new to digital planning and what I said felt overwhelming, didn't make sense to you, I have a whole other video showing how to use these template pages most effectively that will go in depth on this. But the thing to know is when you're using a planner like this, having all of the pages embedded in here makes it much more usable and much more efficient for your year, which is why I've built this out so expansively. And I really put so much thought into building out this library and making it easy to navigate. So linked with this, you can see we have our tabs at the top. Now this is for our 24 custom sections. So you can build these out. Let's start at our section divider page here. So you can designate a section for anything you need. For example, if you have a project, you can write the name of the project here, and each of your section divider pages is like its own little notebook contained within your planner. So the section is pre-filled with pages, and each of the arrows running along the left side here links to a page. So say I write my project title here, and then I write down, kickoff notes for our meeting. Now I can tap in and I have this linked page for me to take notes on. And I can take notes on this page as is, or I can add one of those template pages to give myself a more structured note page. I'll show you what that looks like here. So if I tap over and I grab one of these notes, say I want my Cornell note page, I'm going to take a screenshot on my iPad and just crop this down. Then I will copy that page and then jump right back over to that page and navigate to my section, and I'll just paste it right here on the page and then resize it. So this is a great way to add your custom layouts while keeping the hyperlinks intact, but you can also just copy any of these pages and place them within a section or after the dated page they correspond to. So I showed you earlier the widget stickers, but that's really just the tip of the iceberg as far as decorative stickers that come with this planner. We have a ton of labels and trackers. I'm going to flip through these quickly, but you can check out all of my other videos for inspiration on how to use these and really make the most of them. So one of my favorite collections that are included as well that I find most versatile are these transparent overlay boxes. I find that they're really great for schedule blocking, and there's a lot of creative things you can do with layering them and still being able to see the page layout behind them. Now, the sticky notes are a favorite as well. Then we start to work into all of these different labels. You can see we have filled and outlined, white background, and also these icons that layer. So here's an example of how I use them. See how you can place that individual icon on top of the shape? So it's really limitless as far as combinations. And finally, you see these full page overlays that are great for those note pages. You have lined, dotted, and grid options for those. Now we also have some months, some numbered days, and even more sticker options that again can be combined with those icons. Now I'm also creating some new stickers for this year that will be coming out as bonuses. If you purchase a planner, you'll always get updates on things like that. So keep following up on those. But long story short, I am always building on things. I'm always offering freebies. They're always compatible with my planners. So it's a great bonus if you stick with my planners year to year. Now, I do want to jump into our iOS links. Those are the calendar scheduling links. So if you choose the classic version of the planner or use the planner on Android, this won't be relevant to you. This version is only compatible with iPads because it does use the iOS shortcut feature. So I'll show you a full tour of what all of the shortcuts do. You can see you have an overview in the planner. If we jump to the months, then we have the ability to tap here and you can see that it pops up an external link. Now that is specific to GoodNotes as far as that warning box. You just have to approve it. And when you tap there, you have a list of all of the events that you have scheduled on your calendar that fall into the month I'm currently on. Now, this would include Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar. Any calendar that you have connected to your iCloud account will automatically work. If you have a default calendar set, then that's what it will automatically schedule to. I have a whole video showing all of the ins and outs of this. So if you're new, just be aware that any calendar that you have connected to your iPad is going to seamlessly work with this. Now, you can also open the calendar itself to the month you have selected, and of course, you can toggle through. Then on each day, you have this plus button. That's where we're able to create a full day event. Of course, when you're here, you could also toggle it down, change the time, but you can see on this list, it's a standard calendar creation dialog. You can invite people, set alerts, and you have all the controls here to fully add and schedule that event. Now, jumping down to your weeks, you have the same options on the top. I can summarize my events, open my calendar, and then on each day, you have the ability to create an all-day event. And so you can see how if I'm just in the flow and planning, it's going to make it really easy for me to be able to interface between my planner and say I have a team meeting that I have to schedule out. I can do that right here without breaking my workflow, and that's the key with these shortcuts. It makes you so much more productive by keeping you in your planner and avoiding all of the task switching. So jumping down to my daily page, this is actually where you have the bulk of your links, and this is because each hour of your schedule is fully linked. So this is where I prefer to do a lot of my scheduling from. I'll give you a quick example. I already wrote this in. So if I want to say send an invite to Andre, I can just copy this text. It's copying that handwritten text that I wrote. And then when I tap into this link here, because the hour is linked individually to create a calendar event, and I can just paste that handwriting, it automatically converts it to text. And then I can just adjust anything in here. I can invite Andre and add this in, and it's going to show up on my calendar. And you can see I didn't have to jump out, switch screens or apps. I haven't gotten distracted. So that's why I really love this integration. Now, I also have the ability to create an all-day event and open my calendar to this specific day as well. Now, the other piece I have for you here is the ability to quick create reminders. So again, you could copy anything from your list, and when you tap this icon, it's going to trigger a reminder creation. It's asking you what you want to be reminded about, and then it also takes you through a series of prompts, being able to choose a specific list, and allows you to set up whether you want alerts. So this is a great way, again, to connect to your other productivity tools outside of your planner, maybe interface with other people, someone that you share a to-do list with, and allows you to really make the most of those tools without having to switch windows. So the final piece here that you'll see on every single page of the planner is this general quick create. Whether you're on a calendar page or a notebook page, it's going to bring up the menu here, and it allows you to create an event, add a new reminder. You can set an alarm, start a timer. I love this for productivity. You can also send an email. It brings up an email dialog for you. So I do really love being able to set in a timer. I always work in 25-minute increments, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So I can easily just set that here in my planner and get started on my work. So I hope you can start to visualize how this could really make you more productive and supercharge your work time, being able to interface with all of those other tool sets. So that's the full planner tour. I hope this was helpful and answered your questions, but if you do have any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I also love hearing your feedback on these latest versions and if you have any other requests.